Happy Tuesday, Math!
Happy Tuesday, Math. Now, I was thinking as I was standing here with my arms folded across my chest, I don't think that's very positive posture. I mean, sometimes we talk about, nonverbal cues, and if I'm standing here and my arms are folded, you might think that I'm, afraid of opening up to you, or you might think that I'm angry, but guess what? I'm just freezing. It is freezing. It is almost as cold outside today as it is inside the library. Almost.
I think is that subjective?
Dude, I don't know. I think it's 1 degree, but we don't know about that because even though weather is mentioned, when we talk about the temperature, it's a number. I think that's more of science. However, science is today.
12:15. We've got something going on.
I see some of the instruments we'll be using, and I'm kind of wishing that we could hop ahead to science because although I do have a great book for today, but look at there are numbers on those implements. Hello, everybody, and how are you? How are you? How are you? Hello, everybody, and how are you? How are you today? Hello, everybody, and how are you? How are you? How are you? Hello, everybody, and how are you? How are you today? Well, my name's Johnny, and I want to pound with one hammer. Johnny pounds with one hammer, one hammer, one hammer. Johnny pounds with one hammer, one hammer, one. You know what? I have a hand over here, perfectly good hand. I'm going to add a hammer. One hammer plus one hammer. Johnny pounds with two hammers, two hammers, two hammers. Johnny pounds with two hammers, two hammers, two. Hold on, hold on. Give a hammer to me, then you'll have three. Johnny pounds with three hammers, three hammers, three hammers. Johnny pounds with three hammers, three hammers, three. And if you add one more, then there'll be four. Johnny pounds with four hammers, four hammers, four hammers. Johnny pounds with four hammers, four hammers, four. You know what my mom always said to me? And she heard it from her grandma. If you're going to do any work, be that pounding a nail with a hammer, be that pounding something that's not going to be ruined with a hammer, put your head into it. So put a hammer on your head. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Johnny pounds with five hammers, five hammers, five hammers. Johnny pounds with five hammers, five hammers, five. Wait a minute. Let's put on 2 more hammers, one on each elbow. What do you say? 5, 6, 7. Ready? Johnny pounds with 7 hammers, 7 hammers, 7 hammers. Johnny pounds with 7 hammers, 7 hammers, 7. What do you say? We put one on each little eyelid. Teeny tiny hammers. Ready? Put a hammer gently on there. Put a hammer gently on there. That's 7, 8, 9. Johnny pounds with 9 hammers, 9 hammers, 9 hammers. Johnny pounds with 9 hammers, 9 hammers, 9. And you know what? What about your butt? You know, people are always saying, move your lazy butt, Johnny. Let's do it. Let's put a hammer on our butt. Johnny pounds with, well, now we had 9. Plus 1, 10. Johnny pounds with 10 hammers, 10 hammers, 10 hammers. Johnny pounds with 10 hammers, 10 hammers, 10. Then I fall asleep.
Do you think she's really asleep?
Whoa! You know what I like to do when I wake up? I need to eat a muffin. Wait a minute. Miss Rebecca, do you see any muffins on this tray?
No, I don't.
I see 0 muffins. There were 0 little muffins in a bakery shop. You know that kind with the honey and the nuts on top. In came Johnny up to the tray. He added one muffin and then ran away. Whoop! How many muffins are here now? 0 plus 1? 1. Johnny didn't. There was one little muffin in a bakery shop. You know that kind with the honey and the nuts on top. In came Jane up to the tray. She added one muffin and then ran away. Whoop! 1 muffin plus 1 muffin equals 2. There were 2 little muffins in a bakery shop. You know that kind with the honey and the nuts on top. In came Jovan up to the tray. He added 1 muffin and then ran away. Whoop! 2 muffins plus 1 muffin equals 1, 2, 3. There were 3 little muffins in a bakery shop. You know that kind with the honey and the nuts on top. In came Clayton with a penny to spare, and he popped 1 muffin right out of there. 3 minus 1 equals 2. There were 2 little muffins in a bakery shop. You know that kind with the honey and the nuts on top. In came Claire with a penny to spare, and she popped 1 muffin right out of there. That rhymed, actually. Claire with a penny to spare. Whoa, 2 muffins. 1 was subtracted. 1. There was 1 little muffin in a bakery shop. You know that kind with the honey and the nuts on top. In came Jabari with a penny to spare, and he popped 1 muffin right out of there. There was 1, and then we subtracted. There's 0. There was 0 little muffins in a bakery shop. You know that kind with the honey and the nuts on top. In came a hungry giant, and he... And the reason I'm talking about a giant today, my friends, is I have a great story. And if you ever watch the bedtime stories that we do sometimes on Little People, Big Dreams, maybe you heard it, but you know what? It's so good I need to do it again. Because it's about numbers, and it's also about giants, and it's about these numbers. Remember him?
Hello?
What number is this?
Number 1. Number 1.
And this number?
Number 2. Number 2. Number 2.
And this number?
3, 3, 3, 3, 3. 1, 2, 3. No, here we are. Hello.
It's the story of a boy. And it's by Ashley Bryan. And it's also illustrated by Ashley Bryan. And if you want to see someone who is just an incredible artist and adapter of fables and creator of new wonderful stories, go to ashleybryancenter.org. Amazing. Can't scare me. The words are small, so I will probably have to turn away from the camera and read. But check out this story. There once was a boy who knew no fear. He was oh so wild. He'd scare the lions, stamp his feet, a willful, thrillful child. He thought he was so big, so tough, though only 7:30. No one dared to even think of what he'd be like at 11. His parents threw their hands up. They knew they needed aid, and that's why they went to Grandma, who told stories in the shade. Grandma clapped her hands and welcomed in the boy. She knew that well-told stories were more soothing than a toy. She told him about a giant, held him close, then told another of two-headed giant and his three-headed brother. Said, they wander home at night. Don't let them ever meet you. If you're outside after dark, they'll catch you and they'll eat you.
Oh.
The little boy laughed. Ha! You can't scare me. I'll escape from any old giant. One head, two, or three. Early the next morning, with a basket and a hoe, they walked to her fields, and they began to hoe a row. The grandson slipped away as soon as he could. He knew that he shouldn't, but he knew that he would. He ran back to the mango tree they'd passed along the route. He climbed among the branches, eating fresh, ripe mango fruit. He ate up all the mangoes. Then he sang and played his flute. Toodaloo, toodaloo-dee-loot. Tanto, tanto, I'm wild and I'm free. Grandma's stories can't scare me. I'm bold, I'm brave, and though I may be small, no many-headed giant scares me at all. The sun was going down. He'd spent a carefree day, but now he missed his granny and got started on his way. He skipped along and played his flute. Toodaloot, toodaloot-dee-loot. He bumped into someone. Bong! Brigada, brigada, bop! It was a great big giant with two heads on top. The giant said, oh, little boy, we heard your flute and song. Keep playing how I love it. I could listen all day long. My granny told me about you, said the boy. I have no fears of two-headed giants and their very many ears. Tanto, tanto, I'm wild and I'm free. Grandma's stories can't scare me. I'm bold, I'm brave, and though I may be small, no many-headed giant scares me at all. Giant Two Heads wiggled his 4 ears. They love your song, he said. Now keep on singing, run along. My brother's just ahead. Goodbye, Two Heads. Farewell, 4 ears. Your brother's on this route? Well, I fearlessly welcome giants with my singing and my flute. Then he bumped into the brother. Bong! Boogada, boogada, bop! Oh, this giant was much bigger, and with 3 heads set on top. 1, 2, 3. Giant 3 Heads said, oh, little boy, I heard your flute and song. Keep playing how I love it. I could listen all day long. The little boy sang and played his flute. Toodaloo, toodaloo, toodaloo-dee-loot. Tanto, tanto, I'm wild and I'm free. Grandma's stories can't scare me. I'm bold, I'm brave, and though I may be small, no many-headed giant scares me at all. 3-headed giants laughed out loud, guffawing. Oh, I'd like to hear that song again. Hop up on my big toe. My 6 ears hear much better when you come in close. You say you're not afraid, or is that just a boast? The boy, to show he had no fear, hopped to the giant's toe. The seated giant tapped his knee, impatient for the show. The little boy sang and played his flute. Toodaloo, toodaloo-dee-loot. Tanto, tanto, I'm wild and I'm free. Grandma's stories, they can't scare me. I'm bold, I'm brave, and though I may be small, no many-headed giant scares me at all. The giant laughed. Oh, you're not afraid, so you must agree. 6 ears will hear much better if you hop up on my knee. The boy hopped up to the giant's knee, perched there like a bird. Now he was so much closer, he was sure that he would be heard. He sang his song and played his flute, toodaloo, toodaloo-dee-loot. Tanto, tanto, I'm wild and I'm free. Grandma's stories can't scare me. I'm bold, I'm brave, and though I may be small, no many-headed giant scares me at all. Giant Three Heads rubbed his ears and said, I'm impressed. You know I'll hear much better if you jump up on my chest. The boy stood on the giant's thigh and leaped into the air and plopped down on the giant's chest to prove he had no fear. He sang his song and played his flute, toodaloo, toodaloo-dee-loot. Tanto, tanto, I'm wild and I'm free. Grandma's stories, they can't scare me. I'm bold, I'm brave, and though I may be small, no many-headed giant scares me at all. Giant Three Heads flapped 6 ears and tapped him on the back, then snatched him off his burly chest and threw him in a sack. Heading home, sack in hand, he sang the poor boy's song. Sang, oh, he got it wrong. The giant massacred the song. The scared boy's ears were ringing. He hoped he'd never hear again such awful off-key singing. The giant sang. His singing voice was horrible, a rumbling in the air. It terrified the little boy. Aha, now he knew fear. Once home, the giant cried to Jane, who was his household cook. I brought a boy to fatten up. I begged him, Janie, look. She took the boy out from the sack and bid him play and sing, then put him back and closed the sack and tied it with a string. The next day he said to Janie, as she cleared his breakfast plate, I think I'll eat the boy tonight. I just can't wait. Instead of getting fatter, he might be getting thinner. So cook him up for me tonight. I'll eat the lad for dinner. The giant left. Then Janie said, Before I baste and boil you, please play for me your song again. I'm sure that won't spoil you. Open the bag a teeny bit. Fresh air will clear my flute. I'll sing and play and you'll dance and swing. Toodaloo, toodaloo-dee-loot. Janie opened the bag a bit to free his arms and head. He sang his song and played his flute, toodaloo, toodaloo-dee-loot. Janie swung, she swayed, she swirled, she stamped the final beat. Encore, encore, she yelled for more. Your music thrills my feet. Okay, open the bag a wee bit more till it's round my middle. You'll dance upon the tip of your toes with a tippy-tapple-tittle. Oh, tippy-tapple-tittle, cried Jane, and she was very sure that if she tied him farther down, he'd still be quite secure. He sang his song and played his flute, toodaloo, toodaloo-dee-loot. Tanto, tanto, I'm wild and I'm free. Grandma's stories, they can't scare me. I'm bold, I'm brave, and though I may be small, no many-headed giant scares me at all. Janie tip-tap-toed till dizzy, and still she tapped and spun. So when the boy stopped playing, she cried, What? You've just begun! Open the bag and let me out. You'll never go to bed. My song will make you turn and twirl. You'll dance up on your head. He sang his song and played his flute, toodaloo, doodaloo-dee-loot. She shook him out. He looked about. Jane danced upon her crown. And then he quickly ran out the door and left her upside down. Come back, Cook Janie cried. She twirled back to her feet. If you keep running on like that, you won't be fit to eat. Faster, faster on he ran. He knew he had no choice. And even worse than being cooked, he feared the giant's singing voice. He ran, he ran, he ran. He ran past forests, fields, and farms. He reached his house. He dashed indoors and right into Grandma's arms. She didn't push him off or scold. She hugged him and kissed him. She didn't ask him where he'd been. She just simply said she'd missed him. He told her of his close escape, how 3 heads planned to cheat him, but that his singing voice was worse than any threat to eat him. Oh, how Grandma laughed. He sang his song while Grandma played his flute. Toodaloo, toodaloo-dee-loot. Tanto, tanto, I'm wild and I'm free. Grandma's stories now teach me to be bold and brave, and though I may be small, and many-headed giants will scare us all. Dear Grandma, now that I know fear, I'll be good, don't worry. If only you would tell me soon a 4-headed giant story.
That was good.
And that is Can't Scare Me. And we talked about number 1, right? There was, a 1-headed giant story who didn't play at all into the actual experience of the boy. And then there was the 2-headed brother. And then we met the 3-headed giant. And we speculated on the existence of a 4-headed giant. So perhaps there is a giant with 1 head, a giant with 2 heads, a giant with 3 heads, a giant with 4 heads. I know someone who is, as the kids say today, a little bit extra. Just a little bit. And as I think we all can agree, she's wonderful just like that. Ba-da-da, 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 ba-da-da. Alice the camel, she's really fine. Alice the camel, oh be mine. Alice the camel, you have 5 humps. Alice the camel, that's 5 lumps. Alice the camel, I'd love you with 4. Alice the camel, you don't need any more. Alice the camel, she's got her 4 humps. Alice the camel, they aren't the mumps. Alice the camel, now what would you be if you were a camel who had humps 3? Alice the camel, she has 3 humps. Alice the camel has 1, 2, 3 humps. Alice the camel is giving away this one that says I right on the top, and now she has 2 right on her back. So Al the camel now has 2 humps. Oh, and Al the camel, she has 2 humps. Here she is. Alice the camel has now 1 hump. Oh, Alice, oh, 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 Alice the camel, be who you are. Alice the camel, be who you are. Alice the camel, shed that hump, because Alice is Alice, yes you are. Alice, and I love you just the way you are. Alice is a horse. My friends, I thank you for enjoying or tolerating this episode of Math with me. And whether you're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, or 48 as I wish you a beautiful day, and I'm excited about science. I would ask that you would kiss your beautiful brain. I would ask that you would kiss your loving heart. And if it feels pleasing to you, and I hope it will, please look in the mirror and speak the truth. Say, hey, good looking. See you at science.